Miss Lizzie. I don't ever smoke the dizzy, but we can always share some ditties. It's just a cup in time. This song doesn't have to run. Life's all of us, not every moment we can be feeling fine. I wanna share a moment, just a second if you will, maybe even a cup of thrill. We could share this performance. It's tea time, come sit with me.
Well, welcome guys. Miss Liz in the house, and that's right. We have our first one for August. This afternoon's tea time. We'll figure that out later, but it was a no-show, so we'll see. We'll get that rescheduled. But tonight we have the incredible Mikkelson in the house, and he has worked with Miss Liz for over 4 years. So we're gonna have a good, deep, strong cup of tea tonight. But before we get started, you guys know how Miss Liz rolls. Get over to all those platforms: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Eligible, Lemonade, Clapper. All those good platforms. Give those a like, follow, and subscribe. And if you see my guests are on those platforms, give them a like and follow as well, because that's how we support one another. Then jump over to the podcast apps: Podbean, iHeartRadio, Listen Notes, Deezer, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those good platforms. But I want you to really go over and check over babyboomers.org, because Miss Liz has been partnered with them for about 4 years, and they have other podcasts that are always looking for guests as well. So if Miss Liz is not the flavor for you, there's over 50 different podcasts over there, and they're always looking for a guest, so you can pitch over there as well. So check that out, babyboomers.org. So let's get started with disclaimer and then a beautiful intro, and then we're going to get Mickey in here, and we're going to spill his tea. And his tea tonight is analytical, branding, and passion. Those are the 3 words that Mickey gave me. So we're going to get into those words as well tonight. So disclaimer for Miss Liz's Tea Time live show. Miss Liz's Tea Time is a global platform dedicating to sharing real life stories, diverse perspectives, and meaningful conversations that inspire awareness, healing, and connection. I'm Miss Liz is going live using StreamYard. Before leaving a comment during the live broadcast, please grant StreamYard permission to display your name at StreamYard.com. Please be advised that all the content brought forward during any Tea Time show is presented in good faith. However, discussions may include opinions, beliefs, and perspectives that do not necessarily represent the views of Miss Liz or the Tea Time platform. Information shared by guests is based on their own experiences and is perceived to be accurate at the giving time of airing. All guests, viewers, and participants are responsible for using their own good judgment when considering any action or decision that may relate to these discussions. Some episodes may cover sensitive topics, including but not limited to trauma, abuse, grief, mental health, and other emotionally triggering subjects. Listeners and viewers' discretion is strongly advised. Tea Time with Miss Liz is an open discussion forum designed to offer insight, inspire awareness, and create connection. It is not a substitute for professional, medical, legal, or therapeutical advice. If you require professional support, please seek assistance from qualified professionals or trusted resources in your area. If you have any questions regarding this disclaimer or the content of this discussion, you are welcome to contact me, aka Miss Liz, directly at my email, bookingmissliz@gmail.com, or visit my link tree at Miss Liz's Tea Time. By choosing to participate in, comment on, or view these live shows, you acknowledge and accept this disclaimer. Your participation is entirely voluntary. I, Miss Liz, welcomes you to join the conversation with an open heart. And if at any time you feel this platform is not right for you, I respect your wishes and decision and welcome you back whenever you are ready. Tea Time with Miss Liz is serving truth and awareness 1 cup at a time. Well, welcome to Tea Time with Miss Liz, where every conversation is built on truth, connection, purpose, and the people who continue showing up behind the scenes. Today's guest is much more than a visitor to the Tea Time table. He is a trusted friend, longtime supporter, collaborator, and someone who has helped connect Tea Time with Miss Liz with more than over 100 remarkable guests over the past 4+ years. Please join me in welcoming Mickey Mikkelson, founder of Creative Edge Publicity, literature publicist, media strategist, relationship builder, and dedicated champion of authors, storytellers, advocates, and changemakers. Mickey's work goes far beyond securing interviews or creating publicity opportunities. He believes in understanding the person behind the project, recognizing the heart behind the message, and helping meaningful voices reach the audience who need to hear them. Through years of collaboration, Mickey has continuously supported the growth of Tea Time by introducing guests whose stories have brought education, inspiration, healing, courage, and the awareness to the table. Through multiple genres in the book world, from indie authors to best-selling self-published authors, Today, we are celebrating not only his professional journey, but the friendship, trust, and shared commitment that has grown through years of working together. Today, we'll explore the journey behind Creative Edge publicity, building and genuine relationships within media and publishing, helping authors and speakers find the right platforms, what makes a story stand out in a crowded world, the importance of trust between publicists, host, and guests, more than 4 years of collaboration with Miss Liz, and the many powerful voices Mickey has helped bring to the tea time table. Mickey reminded us that publicity is not simply about being seen. It is about being connected with purpose, representative with integrity, and heard by the people who may be changed by the message. So grab your favorite cup and join us for a special conversation filled with friendship, collaboration, storytelling, loyalty, and real life tea, truth, experience, and awareness. And let me get Mickey in here. Let's spill some tea. Welcome, Mickey.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, did I lose you?
I'm here.
Do I got you back?
I see you.
There we go. I got you.
Oh, perfect.
It's my ears. My hearing aids, They do that. They just go on pause sometimes.
No, thanks for having me. It's wonderful.
Well, it is a pleasure to have you. Finally, everybody's been, when's Mickey coming to the table, Liz?
4 years. 4 years. Crazy.
It is crazy. So, Mickey, let's get to know you a little bit before we get into all the work that you do. So tell us a little bit who Mickey was as a little guy and who Mickey is now.
Oh, Mickey's evolved so much from a little kid to now. Mickey has always been aggressive in a good way, overthinking things, passionate, just loving things like that. Big comic book Beatle fanatic kid who's never stopped listening and reading those things. But now he's serious because he's a publicist. He has to be serious. So that's what Mickey is like. Yeah.
Yeah, Mickey is the boss. Mickey is
sometimes.
But that's how the work gets done, Mickey, is we got to put our belts on sometimes, right?
Sometimes. I mean, the zoo is real, but it's good.
It's a zoo out there. So, Mickey, tell us a little bit what inspired you to create Creative Edge Publicity?
It fell in my lap. I used to do special events for Indigo, the largest bookstore chain in Canada. I used to do special events for them in St. Albert. And then I quit doing that, got into the corporate sector of the credit union banking system, traveling on the road 5-6 days a week, going to credit unions, teaching lenders about banking systems and all that wonderful, boring financial stuff. And then one of my clients, who was a coworker, she wrote a little book called Chin Up, Tits Out. Miranda O's her name. And we're traveling through Alberta together. I think we were actually driving to Rocky Mountain House, which is like a 5-hour drive. And she mentioned, I wrote a book. I'm like, what do you mean you wrote a book? Come on, Miranda, what are you talking about? Well, no, I wrote a book. I'm like, oh, what are you going to do with it? Well, I need help marketing it. Okay, what do you need help with? I need book signings. I'm like, I can get you some book signings. What? How? Well, I worked at Indigo. I know everybody there. So I got her some book signings in Alberta. We actually went together and went to some stores and we got some signings lined up and all this stuff. And then the news went out that I did this because she did the same thing when she went back to Winnipeg. I set signings up there. I think I set up 10 signings for her in the span of like 6 weeks. And the news started getting out. And other authors who I used to work with when I was at Chapters Indigo, they started contacting me. And they're like, well, can you do this for me too? I'm like, okay. That was after about the 5th author, I just created a little company. And I named it Creative Edge. And my 9-year-old designed my logo of 2 puzzle pieces because she's autistic. And she's like, Dad, you're bringing people together and you're connecting them and all this stuff. And one of the puzzle pieces should be blue because it's autistic color. And so that's how we started. And we were full-time, didn't go full-time till September 2020 because the company I work for decided to eliminate 36 positions, me being one of them. So I went part-time to full-time in like 2 months. And I went from like, I don't remember, 36 writers to over 86 in the span of 2 months. And now we're over 100. So that's what happens. Yeah. And then we met you, Miss Liz, and then we just grew from there. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we still don't even know how you found me.
I don't remember. I can't remember. But I know it's been like, I know that you said yes to the first guest, not knowing that I would bombard you with all these people, right? So, yeah.
Absolutely. And I've met some really incredible people through you, Mickey. And Miranda O was one of them that I met, because as soon as you said her book cover, I was like, I remember that book.
Isn't she crazy and dynamic all at once? How can you say no to her? Like, you
absolutely. Right. And there's so many incredible clients. Like, I was going through all the clients that you had when I was doing my homework. And I was like, I had that one. I had that one. I had that one. And then I'm like, I didn't get this one yet. Oh, well, me and Mickey are going to have to talk about this one.
It's an ever, this publicity vein, you know, the shelf life of a client publicist relationship on average in the book world is typically 1.5 to 2 years. I have clients I've worked with since I started my company, and that was in 2015. So I've got clients who've been with me for 9, 10, 11 years at a time. It's crazy on how that worked out. Now, do I lose clients? I lose clients all the time. Do I gain more clients? I'm getting more clients all the time. But it's a cyclical motion. Like, things change and evolve all the time in this. But
absolutely.
I'm proud to say I've been doing this for 10 plus years, and I have some extremely loyal people behind me. And I work with some incredibly talented people, both in the indie and traditional vein. I'm really proud of that.
You know, we both started our businesses in the same time. I started Miss Liz in 2015. I was a fundraiser, having community events in town. Everybody thinks it was just a virtual world. No, I was doing community events and fundraising and all that. I started in 2015. And it started like you, Mickey. I had a tea party in my house, and one lady said, can we do this in community? I was like, I don't know. Let's just try it. Like, let's see where it goes from here. And that's how it started.
So the question is, what month did you start?
September 15th, 2015.
Ha! I beat you by 6 months. I started in March.
He's in the lead, guys. We're having a race here.
Yeah.
I'm the turtle, Mickey.
I started March 21st, I think, of 2015 is when we actually started the whole process. So, yeah.
Small
crazy.
World, right?
Yeah.
Well, that almost goes into the question we have here from David is, what first inspired you to create Creative Edge Publicity back in 2015? Because you said in 2020 you launched it, but you had it started in 2015. So you were working with all the bookstores and that back then?
I was doing this part-time for over 4 years. So from March 2015 to September 2020, I was doing this part-time. Basically, I would get up at 4 a.m. every single day, Monday through Sunday, work for 4 hours doing Creative Edge stuff. And then from 8 a.m. to about 6 p.m., I would work at my corporate job. Or if I was on the road, I'd be traveling or doing whatever. And then from 6 p.m. onwards until about 11 o'clock at night, I would be building up my authors and media and all that stuff. So a lot of the authors I work with in media affiliates, they weren't getting any sleep because I was sending emails out at 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. But it worked out for the UK people, but not so much for the Canadian people. So that's how this goes. And I mean, I was doing that up until September 2020, like all throughout that. And then after the fact, like I'm still up at 4 a.m. every single day, pretty much. My old habits die hard. But I was doing this part-time for that amount of time. And I had a big roster of people at that time as well. I had New York Times bestsellers in 2017. I had multiple award winners in 2016 and 2017. So I was working with all those mainstream people, but doing it on a part-time basis, as well as my own corporate job. And neither of them really fell through. So that's what happened. So, yeah.
But you know what? The universe puts us in directions that we don't even sometimes understand, me and you, Mickey. Like, we're just like, what? This person wants to talk with us? This person wants to work with us? What?
Yeah, it's great, right? It's all about networking and community. And I was on the phone today with one of my mainstream media affiliates. It was supposed to be a 10-minute conversation that turned into an hour and a half. It's just how it works, right? So it's all about relationships and how you treat people and all that stuff. So yeah.
Absolutely. I remember our first talk. It was 2.5 hours.
See, there you go. Right. Right.
And a lot of your clients, they stay like hours after tea time. A lot of people are like, oh, Miss Liz doesn't see them. No, they stay. I had one guest that came on and they stayed on till 2 a.m. with me and we just talked.
That's insane.
Her husband actually came in and said, are you girls done now?
I should have billed them double for that episode. That's how it works. But no. Anyways, just kidding. Just kidding. I would never do that. Anyway.
Well, Mickey, we have a question here from Dixon, and it's, what do you enjoy about helping authors succeed behind the scenes?
I love this question. So thank you, Dixon, for asking that question. Because, and I've said this before in other things, but I want to emphasize it again. I'm a very lucky individual. I get to work with some of the world, and I mean this, with some of the world's most talented literary people in this industry, not just from a client base, from a media base, all of that. And I get to build them up every minute of every single day. And you can't put a price on that. You just can't. When I get a book review for one of my indie authors and they email me back saying, thank you so much. Or when I get a book from one of my mainstream authors and they write inside of it, best publicist ever, which has happened, by the way, New York Times bestseller too. The joy and the feeling I get from those interactions, it's more than just getting money every single month. That's why I do this. And the networking opportunities and the validity behind it and the ethics behind it and the rewards behind it, you cannot ever place a dollar on. That's why I do what I do.
Absolutely. And that's what I enjoy about all the clients you send my way, right? Is you work with people that bring different genres to the table, different literature. And I always love when I get like children's books or horror books or science fiction books, because some of the books I'm just like, tell me more about that book. I want to know more about the book. And then I kind of forget that I'm doing a live and there's people actually watching. And I'm just like, oh yeah, you guys are over here too. I gotta bring you guys in.
I love that. No, it's so rewarding. Like it just is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Mickey, we have another question here from Jeffrey, and it's, what qualities makes an author truly stand out in today's publishing world?
Man, your team has good questions, Liz. Like, I'm blown away by all of this. Thank you for that question as well, Jeffrey. So basically, my stance is this. No matter what you write, no matter what you're doing, you have to just go all out with that. And what I mean by that is basically having professionalism all the way through. And in some cases, that's going to take monetary. Like, you're going to have monetary behind you as well. But the key thing is, there's a million books out there. Publishers Weekly gets bombarded with like submissions every month. You're looking 100,000, 150,000 submissions every single month. The key thing is to make sure that your brand is looking professional. And what I mean by that is, pay someone to design a book cover, get it properly formatted, get it professionally edited. Don't pump a book out every single month. Unless you're in romance, then the rules are broken there. But have a decent bio, have a decent headshot. It can be a selfie, but it has to look professional. And understand what your vision is. If there's something you want to do it. And don't listen to 15 experts telling you you're doing it wrong. Have faith and have confidence in what you're doing. And just do that. If I listen to everybody who told me, Mickey, you can't start this company, you can't do this, and you're never going to represent a New York Times bestseller, you're never going to represent a USA Today bestseller, and you're never going to have all these media connections worldwide. If I'd listened to all the people telling me that, I wouldn't be doing this interview right now. I didn't listen to anybody, and I did what I wanted to do. And that's what authors should do too. As long as they have a belief in what they're doing, I will always back them 100%, as long as it's done the right way.
Absolutely. You don't have to follow the trends or the viral. Follow your heart and believe in yourself. And I think that's one of the things we talked about when we first met, was Miss Liz does different. A lot of people tell me, Miss Liz, you should do it this way, this way, this way. And I was just, that's not my cup of tea at all. I'm not doing that. I'm not following that trend or that viral, get big for 5 minutes and then forget me. I want to be baby steps, right? And that's what we've done over the last 4 years is baby steps together, grown together. And we got to see a lot of incredible people grow in those years together. Like, it's truly amazing how some of the authors have really grown over the years. Like, you see them in interview 1 in season 3 and interview season 7, and there's a huge difference. Like, so
it's funny, I had an author one time. I had a meeting with, because this is what I do. I have meetings with authors, right? And this one author who worked was published through the traditional space. I think it was, I can't remember, Penguin or Hachette, one of the two. And they're all like, well, Mickey, we can only work together for 6 months, but your contract's written up with a year. I'm like, okay, why only 6 months? Well, the shelf life of a book is only 6 months. And my publicist at the big house I'm working for is going to stop promoting it 6 months. So what can you do differently that's going to go past the 6 month time? I've gotten authors on covers of magazines 2 years after the book has come out, and it's for that magazine. I break every single rule you can think of, every rule. I will continue pitching and trying to continue booking stuff until the media finally says to me no. And they say no by either not responding, or they'll point blank tell me, Mickey, this is old. Don't do that again. Otherwise, everything is fair game. Everything. I don't care what it is. We have as much success promoting backlist books as we do new releases. Yep. So yeah, break every rule.
Absolutely. And Mickey's a rebel. I think you're the one that told me if they say no, knock on 3 more doors. And that's exactly what I've been doing. Someone says no to me, I'm just like, well, you don't want to be saying no because the next 3 people are going to really not like you.
Right. It doesn't matter. Every rule is made to be broken. Every rule.
Absolutely.
So anyways, I love all the comments you're getting. This is a wonderful team you've got here, Liz. It's great.
Well, we have another question here from Real Charlotte is, how has the publishing industry changed since you started Creative Edge Publishing?
I don't think the rules have changed, and I don't think the branding has changed. I think that what I said is true. Professionalism, key looking, key branding, investment in your book and everything, that's all the same. What has changed, though, is there's a lot more pivots than there used to be. And the reason for that is there's a lot of change in the media space, specifically traditional, because that's where our strength is. Even in the last 3 months, especially in Canada, and I don't want to get all political, but I do want to mention this. In Alberta specifically, 6 radio stations have been shut down. The 2 major TV networks have now gone central to Toronto, and their newscasts have been shut down in the rural areas in Alberta, Saskatchewan, all of that. And that's why you have to pivot. So there might be less traction around the major scape like that and more affluence to more podcasts like this. And that's where that change is coming from, right? Plus the whole AI thing. So the styling of, and I know it's a long answer, I'm sorry for that, but the styling of what publicity is and the rules around it, I don't think change. I'm going to break all of them anyways, but I don't think the rules have changed. But I think on how people do things has changed slightly in terms of pivot overall. And the authors and the publicists and the keys around focusing only on the books are going to be left behind. Whereas we're focusing, and we always have, on the individuals. And that's why we're having success.
Well, Mickey, you mentioned AI. How do you feel about the AI?
It's a double-edged sword because there's so much negativity within that. Do I educate my team that they are not to be using AI for their writings, especially when they send articles to me? Absolutely. AI is not to be used to write their documents. They can use it for research as long as they're backing up that research by checking out those sites. I'm good with that. But no one within my team is going to write an article using AI and then we're going to post that in the magazine. We're not going to do that. Can AI be used to design things? Maybe. Can you use it for research? Absolutely, as long as you check the sources. I'm good with all of that. It's not going away. I don't think we should properly, fully embrace it. Maybe embrace it with some caution, but ultimately it's going to be utilized in some way, shape, or form. It's the new world and we have to incorporate it somehow. Just be careful about it.
Yeah. Well, I know that you work with some authors that speak on AI in their books and that.
Yeah.
So how do you have those conversations with those authors?
What do you mean by that question though? Like, how do they...
Like when because a lot of them are expressing about AI slop. I'm trying to remember the author that came on and talked about the AI.
I have one author who's done an authors versus AI.
Yes, that one.
Okay. There's no conversations to have. That's ultimately that individual's branding, and we're building her branding out. She's actually been on mainstream radio and on a national scale. So it's her branding. Again, my process is all about building the branding of the people I represent, as long as it's done professionally. So in that case, I'm an advocate for it. She's having success. It's her branding, and it's real. She did. I mean, she wanted to write a book a week for a full year. Well, she did that. So far be it for me to question that. So, yeah.
Yeah, like, and for me, when I talk to my kids about AI, and I use AI for some of the stuff because of my health issues and my eyes and that right now, right? And I always question AI, and I always get mad. It's almost like my second husband. Like I tell everybody, it's my second husband. Like it just doesn't listen to me. Like, you know, so you still got to do some of the work. You know, you can ask your husband to do the dishes, but sometimes you have to go in behind and wash the dish again. Like, you know what I mean? It's just.
Are you going to make a tutorial to show them how to wash the dishes? Because I'm good with that.
Right?
Maybe there's a book there, Liz. There's a book there. It's a bestseller. Come on.
Right? But I mean, like, I always questioned the thing. Because I did have a guest on that worked in NASA, and she said, question it, Liz, because AI is coming, whether we like it or not, it's here. But don't be afraid of it and question it. Just like you would question a human being. If something's not right and something doesn't feel right, like the instinct, question it, you know, and ask them why they want to do it.
Utilize it and try to understand for what it is. And then don't go all in. And it's like what Anita just said, it's about every industry. It's true. Every industry is going to have changes in depth. Everything changes through time. If it didn't, we would still be listening to vinyl only and never have MP3s or CDs or streaming. Or you know, we wouldn't have light switches. We wouldn't have cars. We'd still be riding horses. Everything changes. It's
well, you know,
it makes a difference.
You know, Mickey, and it's changing and it's coming back from the past, right? A lot of the history is being repeated. The vinyl records are coming back. The CDs are coming back. Like everything is coming back, just in a different way of serving and selling it. We have a question here, Mickey, for you from Kyle, and it is there one success story that still makes you especially proud?
Oh, there are so many stories, and I don't want to name names because of privacy, but I did get a New York Times bestseller that I work with. I got her on a podcast called the Beautiful Writers Podcast. She was actually co-billed with Tom Hanks. And it was pre-COVID, and the episode actually got streamed and ran in every American airline flight in the US. So anyone traveling would see her interview alongside Tom Hanks's interview on every flight for that year in the United States. So that was a big coup. And I mean, I still tell that story today, but I don't like to, out of privacy, I just don't want to build who the client was. But I mean, that was a very big success story. But I've had so many of them, like I just have. It's crazy what we do. And, so yeah.
Well, and he's got a lot. If he pulls out any favorites, they're going to be on him. So.
Maybe. Exactly. They're like, why didn't you get that for me, Mickey? Come on. I've not seen that yet. So, but there's so many other things that we've done like within my team. Yeah. Like I've represented hundreds of authors in like the last 11 years. So yeah, it's crazy.
So Mickey, tell us a little bit about your team.
They're wonderful. What do you want to know about them?
Well, who do you have? Like who can they expect to talk to and meet and work with?
Well, it shifts all the time, but I've got a Bram Stoker Award winner. His name is, I guess I'll bring the names up. His name is Zondi. I've got a mentoring expert out of Saskatchewan who just won a major award. His name is Doug Lawrence. I work alongside Amy Ravichandran, who's a social media guru who's won multiple awards for social media and reaches 2.5 million on social media piece. Me and Amy work jointly with Sandy Malone, who was a reality show host on TLC. There's so many people I work with. I work with Mikkelson, who's a #1 New York Times bestseller, who's blind, whose dog saved him during the Twin Towers disaster and 9/11 and saved him, I think, from the 78th floor all the way down, got out of that building. There's so many people I work with, like so many. I've got a relationship with Dress and Love Publishing, which is a mainstream Christian press who has ties to the CPA. There's so much stuff and some over the years that I've done. It's amazing. It blows my mind even when I look back at where I started and where I am now and the people I work with. And it's a testament to them, actually, not to me, to them, because they allowed me and took the risk on me to help build their brands. So I know this is being recorded. So publicly, I want to thank my team for the people I have represented in the past and the people I represent now for allowing me to practice. I'll use the word practice very cautiously. Practice building up their profiles throughout this journey, then and now.
Absolutely. And some of the names that you mentioned, they will be coming on Tea Time this month. So so stay tuned for those Tea Times. Those will be incredible. I've had Michael on before. I think it was on season 5. I had Michael on. He'll be coming back on again. Catherine will be back on at the end of the month. So some incredible. I had Sandy last month. Check out that Tea Time. That was a fun tea time with Sandy.
Yeah,
she's a real hoot.
Like
so
she's amazing. Fun. Yeah, she's so amazing. It's great.
Well, we have some more questions coming in for you, Mickey. And the next one is, what advice would you give a first-time author who wants to build a lasting platform?
Do not, and I emphasize the words do not second guess what you want to do. If you want to take your story in a direction, do that. If you want to design a book cover a certain way, do that. If you want whatever you want to do, have belief that it's the right thing to do. And don't listen to everybody out there, including me, because sometimes I'm wrong too. But here's an example. We all know who Pink Floyd is. We all know Dark Side of the Moon. It's only one of the greatest albums of all time, right? Well, that album almost didn't get made because the executives didn't want them to run that album because it was too weird for the times. If David Gilmour and Roger Waters had listened to them, we wouldn't have Dark Side of the Moon today. So whenever authors second guess themselves because it's something that someone's told them, I tell them, stop. If this is what you want to do and you're confident in it and you believe that it's the right thing to do, then do it. At least if you fail with your own convictions. And in 90% of the places and times, you're not going to fail anyways because it's what you want to do.
Absolutely.
Maybe with a little bit of help, but yeah.
Right. Start listening to yourselves. Start listening to the inner self. Me and Mickey, certainly we do this together. We see what's in other people And that's what the tea is. Like everybody was telling Mickey, it's not even about the beverage. Miss Liz is a metaphor. Like it's not what you think it is. Because even when I was telling Mickey, what's your tea? He's like, oh, I don't know. Like, what is this? But it's a past, present, and future, right? We all have a story. We all have a past, a present, and a future. And it's just like writing a book, right? There's the beginning, the middle, and the end. So that's how you look at it. You just look at it like a book, Mickey.
I was told, and I know I mentioned this earlier, but I'm going to bring it up again. I was told that the shelf life of a book was 3 to 6 months and you had to stop promoting. Well, I didn't believe that. So I went past that and we had success doing it. I was told you could never get an indie author on national TV. Okay, I got an indie author in the United States on national TV in Canada, which I was told would never happen either. And that we made that happen.
Yeah.
There's so many things in this book industry that people say can never, never, never happen. And I've proven time and time again that you can break those rules because I believe in what my team does. And I believe in our process. And that question, going back to what authors need to do to have visibility and success, they need to do the exact same thing. Write the way you want, design the way you want, market the way you want, maybe get a little help. Hello. But I'm just saying, like, that's what should happen. If you're going to have success, and really the end of the minute the most people fail is because they quit just at the time when they're about to peak.
Yeah.
And if you start looking at yourself, I'm not getting anywhere, I get it. It's a marathon. It is not a sprint. Don't quit. Because just as you're about to quit, it's probably when you're going to have the success you're going to have.
Absolutely. You know, and that's how I felt when I closed down after 5 years, right? For 8 months. And it was just like, I gave up on myself. Like, why did I do that? Like, I was doing okay. Like, why'd you do that? Because you got scared. Oh, and now you're getting different people coming to the table. Now you're getting scared. Well, there's still people. So get back and do it. And that's what I did last year. 81 shows last year. This year, 207. Like, you know, so obviously there's something Miss Liz is doing right. So
I nearly shut down twice in the span of 11 years. Both times was when I was part-time because I wasn't seeing the end game. And then I got a call from the company I worked for that said, we're eliminating your position. And at that point, I said to myself, I could go work in the credit union system because I know lots of CEOs, they would hire me. Or instead of shutting down, maybe I should see what happens with this.
Yeah.
Well, I did that. I went from, I think 36 was the number. I went from 36 authors in September 2020 to over 86 by November of that same year. If I would have quit as I was about to have success, we wouldn't be talking today. And the team I have now would not, well, yeah. So don't give up. Don't give up.
I believe, Mickey, you and me, we met in 2022 and you had 156 clients at that time?
At that time, I did, yes. I had to scale back, but at that time, yes, it was around 150. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because you were like, you just sent me the whole list and you're like, just pick who you want. So I was just like going through them and I was like, I don't know.
Welcome to the world of Mickey and his affiliations with media. This is what I do.
You just look at the list and then, and now I'm getting used to getting lists from everybody. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Okay. This is how you all work in this field, right? Just pick who you feel comfortable with. And that's what I've done is I've just, sure, let me get this one on. Let me have this one. Like I haven't had this conversation yet. We have more questions coming in. One from Jonathan is how do you help authors develop an authentic personal brand instead of simply following trends?
Because, and no other publicist I know does this, I don't focus on the book. I don't focus on the product. The personal brand is the person themselves. And that's how we spin things. I've used this example lots of times. I'm going to do it again. We all know McDonald's. We all know the Big Mac. When you're driving with your kids down the highway and you have kids screaming in the back and they're hungry, as parents, at least it was in my case, as a parent, if my kid was hungry and I know she wanted a Big Mac, I'm not looking for the Big Mac. I'm looking for the Golden Arches, because I know if I go to the Golden Arches, I'm going to get that Big Mac. The Big Mac is the product. The Golden Arches is the brand. In the book world, it's the same thing. Stephen King is the brand. Cuja, Carrie, Misery, Salem's Lot, The Stand, those are all products. And you can only market a product for a specific period of time. You can market a brand for as long as you need to market that brand. So I market the branding of my individuals, and we leverage on their strengths. And when we're going to the media, we're talking about their strengths as people with these products to talk about as well. And that's how we have success. That's how we're able to build out media affiliates. That's why we're able to promote backlist books as effectively as we are with new books. And all of this works. You know, I'll send, and this happens with you, Miss Liz, but other places as well. I will send media affiliates 6 press releases for the month. I get an email back half an hour later. Mickey, here are the dates. Bang, 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 bang. All 6 are booked. No questions asked.
Yep.
Because they know the individuals. They know the kind of individuals we're going to bring to the table. So it's a slam dunk. The books are a byproduct, and they could talk about them, but it's because of the individual that they're getting those spots. Nothing else.
Let's talk about that, Mickey, press releases, because there's not many podcasters that are doing press releases out there.
No, how come?
Right?
Why?
Why are we so afraid of putting our line out there? Or
I
are
don't
we waiting to the last minute to book people? Like, you know, like we're booked like a year in advance. Like I give Mickey
That's
dates
good.
in November, and then you give me them within 24 hours or 72 hours. You give me the whole year. I give you dates, and we just plan it so that we can market, and we can. There's a good strategy when we have our guests lined up months in advance, because then we can really get to know our guests and do the lineup and find out what new books are coming, what new updates are coming. And by the time they come to the table, sometimes there's even a new book that comes to the table with them. So, you know,
the way you do things is a lot different than a lot of the affiliates I work with. And in all honesty, and this is going to sound negative, not towards you, but to them, they're struggling to find out why teams and clients and authors aren't sharing their stuff. The way you've developed it, there's no harm in share. We want to share it.
Yep.
It's vibrant. It looks good. And we're able to share ahead of time because you give us those prep pieces. Why wouldn't an author want to share something with a big poster and their book in a nice designed profile standpoint? It's so much easier than trying to just share a link after the fact and then having affiliates wonder, well, you interviewed, why didn't you share it?
Yeah.
Give us a tool to share it. That's the easier way to do it. Absolutely.
Exactly, right. Have the tools and get out there and get to know your guests. You know, it makes a big difference when you know them, because then they feel like a person. They don't feel like content.
100%. 100%.
Well, we have a question here from Strategy Show. It's, if you could give every inspiring author one piece of encouragement before they publish their first book, what would it be?
That you've had the conviction to be able to write a book and have confidence in that. Because ultimately, if you're doing things the right way and you're marketing properly and you're a self-published indie author and you're doing everything the right way, you have as much right to those mainstream sites as the New York Times and USA Today bestsellers in this world. And if you've made the conscious effort to invest all kinds of money and all kinds of branding to get that book out, then you're one up on everything else, and you deserve to be in that limelight as well. Because we all know that the book world is not usually a financially viable option. Most authors will lose money on everything they write. So, yeah. inspire.
That's a good thing to put out there, Mickey, because a lot of people think if they write a book, they're going to get the millions. It takes a lot of work.
90% of authors will never get the money back they've invested in their books.
Absolutely. And that's a big investment in yourself, right? Investing in your own words.
That's right.
We have another question here from Rick, and it's how important is networking compared to marketing for your new authors?
Those are two different thank you, Rick, for the question. Those are two very different things. So marketing equates back to sales. Marketing is BookBub campaigns, advertising, social media, that kind of stuff. I believe the networking is tied back to publicity and getting known into the world. Publicity by itself and getting known into the world is a loss leader. And what I mean by that is an interview, if you are an author and you get on Good Morning America, second largest daytime running TV show in the United States, and you're expecting you're going to sell 1 million books, well, you're not. You're going to I had an author who did that before they signed with me. They got, I think, 52 hits on their website after the interview, and they sold 10 books. Publicity by itself does not equate back to sales. To be successful, you have to have both worlds. Publicity creates exposure, gets your name out there, gets you known with readers, potential grow new fans, potentially grow new audience, potentially grow your media relationships because media have seen you on Good Morning America or wherever. That's what publicity does. Book marketing equates back to sales. So publicity creates exposure. That exposure may lead to sales, provided you do everything right on the marketing side of things. Social media, advertising campaigns, 99-cent deals, drive to number one, those kind of things. Both things together in hand give you a full platform, but one or the other will not give you full success.
Right? You got to work in a lot of different areas.
Absolutely.
Well, we have a question here from Clyde, and it's what's one branding tip every author should remember before launching a new book?
Never forget your own vision. Know what you're trying to do, and then just do that. There are no tips. There are no secret sauce to the success of this. I tell people to be real. I tell people to have confidence in themselves. That's the tip. The minute you try to second guess what you're doing is when you are ultimately going to fail. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. If you've handmade a book cover and it looks shoddy because someone told you to put a rose on there and it's a romance book, that's a tip that you shouldn't probably listen to. So there are no tips. Belief in yourself. That is the biggest thing you can do for avocation.
So, Mickey, how do you balance business strategy with genuine relationships?
That is the business strategy, is developing relationships. There's no secret experiment to this. It's being real. It's being transparent. It's treating people as you'd like to be treated. It's monitoring. It's navigating. It's having processes in place for success. My authors are told and trained never to go outside of our community from a media standpoint. If I hear of an author reaching out to one of my affiliates without me knowing, I'm going to go ballistic. It's all about process, and it's all about having a set platform in place where everybody is together as one community and thinking as one. Miss Liz, I'll ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
Sure, go ahead.
You've interviewed how many of my authors?
Over 115.
Have any of them gave you a bad interview?
Not your guys, no.
Have all of them pretty much done the same kind of process in terms of sharing, marketing, all of those kind of things?
Absolutely.
That is the benefit of having a community. And that is the benefit of being streamlined and having a vision overall. That's the benefit of that. Some people call us a cult. I guess so. I guess I'll take it. But I mean, end of the day, we are one team and we are a community. And what one person does directly affects over 100 other people. So it's important that we all interact the right way. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And by meeting you, Mickey, I got to meet other publicists and other media resources and stuff like that. We also did a couple magazines that you had put me in, a couple magazines, articles, the podcaster magazine, yep. and getting it out, how we stay as a family with Tea Time Table. It's not just content, it's a family. Like, there's so many authors that are always telling you, Mickey, I want to go back on Miss Liz. Like, I've had, like, Zachary was on 5 times. Like,
he loves it. He
it's just like,
you. It's great.
And it's always good to hear the feedback. And then for my audience that are listening and tuning in, they always send good feedback as well, saying, thanks for bringing that to the table. And thanks for asking those questions in a different way. And I learned so much about the writing world and the literacy world and the different genres and the different skills and tools and tips and plots and characters over the last 7 years from all of these incredible people that I never even knew that this existed in the writing world. I was just like, okay, I'll just write words on paper and I'm writing a story, right? But there's so much that we do not know, like the scenes, the plots, the characters, all that building up that goes on in the storybook. And that's what I really loved about having all of your clients on Tea Time, was I got to know something from them, or I learned something from them. So
it's important for the creative juices to flow through with individuals. But it's also important to have the business side of things beyond that.
Absolutely.
Am I anal? Absolutely. I am very anal. I run my ship very, very tightly. If things go awry, my team knows that I'm not happy. Like I am. I'm anal that way. Some people have called me a control freak, and maybe that's true. But we have consistency. Everybody follows suit. Everybody is professional. Everybody gets opportunities. And I've never heard a media affiliate yet tell me your client put on a bad interview.
Yeah.
And if it happens, it has happened occasionally, not very often, but it has happened. Then there's a coaching moment within them. But everybody works for the common brand of themselves and Creative Edge as a community, because that's what we are.
Oh, I want to bring up something before we run out of time. We're almost at the hour here. I want to bring up, I found this, the ARC. Can you tell me what the ARC is?
ARC?
Yep.
It's
on your site.
Pre-release of the book.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about that and how people can get into that.
So we haven't developed a team for a long time, but a long time ago, probably 6 years ago, I developed an ARC reader team, which basically meant reviewing releases before they actually get released, because the more reviews, the better. So I was trying to build a team that would agree to review our people's books prior to the release dates. And then within that, build them up. We now have magazines that we can post the reviews on, which will create credibility for the reviewers as well. So that's all that's about.
So, and they can sign up for that on the website, right?
Yeah, or email me directly, whichever. Yeah, it's all through there. Yeah.
So, Mickey, do you want to just spell out your website for the audio listeners?
Creative Edge Publicity, and you've got the email there, creative-edge.services. Yeah.
Yeah, because when I put it up, I was just like, where's the .com? Where's the .org?
There isn't one. No, that's how this is.
You're different.
You know how many companies with Creative Edge in their name there is? There's so many. So I couldn't find one with a .com or .ca. So that's why we did this. Again, breaking rules.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, Mickey, before we wrap up, I want to get into your tea. And the 3 words you gave me was analytical, branding, and passion. Why'd you give me those 3 words for your tea?
Well, I used analytical because I tend to overthink everything. I'm a big researching kind of a person, and I like to have all the information before I delve into something. Branding, that's my world. It's all about that. Branding is key. Branding of people, branding of books, branding of companies, branding of podcasters, branding of media. That's my world. And I forget what I wrote for the third thing. Can you tell me again?
Passion.
Well, hopefully this interview emphasizes that, but I'm all about passion, and I'm all about 100% in, and I'm all about believing in yourself and having passion within that. If you don't have passion in doing something, there is no point in even doing it, because you will ultimately fail.
Absolutely.
And that goes out to business owners, that goes out to writers, musicians, creatives, everything. If you don't have passion doing something, stop doing it until you find what you do have passion doing. I am passionate about publicity. This is why I work as long as I do, and why I do the way I do things. And we have success. We do.
So, Mickey, what legacy do you hope Creative Edge Publicity leaves within the literacy world?
I don't know that I want a legacy. I just want to help creatives build their brands, get the word out. And I don't want to do it by ripping people off. I don't want people to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars with me on fake promises of grandeur and then have those individuals not have success. I want clients to come to me, maybe pay me for what I'm worth in their minds, and let them have success. And when I'm off this world, and if hopefully Creative Edge is still around, know that, that Mickey guy, he really helped me because he really believed in what I was doing. He did not believe in the dollar. He believed in what I was doing. That's what I want.
So, Mickey, what's your final message to all the writers out there, authors, media? What's your final message to everybody?
Believe in yourself. Believe in you. Don't give up when things look bleak. Just believe in your branding. Believe in your writing. Believe in what you can do. And take that to any level you want. And just have success doing that. And never lose yourself in that. Yeah.
So, Mickey, do you have any surprises that we should know about to watch out for?
Nothing I'm going to discuss today. Next try.
I tried, guys. I tried. Once the live goes down,
I will mention
get the
one
HLs.
thing. I did hire a publicity assistant, and she is amazing. So I'll mention that. That will be my surprise, because she's already starting to do press releases. She's already starting to reach out. So yeah, Miss Liz, you'll probably be dealing with Ash at some point, probably September, October, November. Just get ready, because she's amazing.
Well, that is good. I am so honored to meet Ash. I've been colliding with her while we've been sending some emails. So I'm going to see how we bounce back and forth and have some fun together, because it's been a fun time with you, Mickey, working over I think it's almost 5 years now that we're going into it. Like, the years go by so fast.
I do not have. Ash has the soft skills I do not have. So I'll say that up front. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mickey. It was a pleasure having you at the table.
Amazing. And thank you and your panel, like everyone, for the questions. You were wonderful.
Well, I don't know whoever tunes in. Everybody just finds Miss Liz like you did.
Love it. Great.
In the universe, and we find each other, and that's how we do is we just roll it together. So I'm just going to do a quick recap of what tonight's tea time was, and then I will be back tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. This week I am here every day. So tomorrow I have 2, Wednesday I have 1, Thursday 2, Friday 2. So stay tuned all week, guys. Miss Liz is coming to you with guests. The floor is just full. So what a meaningful and memorable conversation we have shared tonight. Mickey, thank you for returning to the Tea Time Table, not only as a respected publicist and media professional, but as a true friend and supporter of Miss Liz and the Tea Time Table of Miss Liz. Today's conversation reminded us that success is rarely built alone. Behind every interview, book, message, and public appearance are people who open doors, create introductions, build trust, and believe in the value of another person's voice. For more than 4 years, you have supported this platform by connecting Tea Time with more than 100 of your clients. Each guest has brought a different story, experience, lesson, and flavor to the table, helping this global community continue growing one conversation at a time. We explore publicity, publishing, media relationships, collaborations, trust, and the importance of matching powerful stories with meaningful opportunities. One of tonight's greatest takeaways is this: the strongest professional relationships are built when business becomes connection, connection becomes trust, and trust becomes and grows into genuine friendship. Mickey, your work reminds us that a publicist does more than promote a name or book. A great publicist recognizes potential, he protects the message, he creates opportunity, he helps people step into rooms they may never have entered alone. As we close tonight's tea time, I would like to leave everyone with this thought. Who has quietly supported your journey, opened a door for you, or believed in your voice before the rest of the world began listening? Those people are part of our stories too. Mickey, thank you for your loyalty, your continuous collaboration, and countless introductions that have brought courage, creativity, education, and hope to this table. Most importantly, thank you for being more than a professional connection. Thank you for being a friend. Until next time, continue elevating meaningful voices, continue building relationships with integrity, and continue serving real life tea, truth, experience, and awareness, one powerful connection at a time. And tonight's takeaway from Miss Liz is real collaboration is not measured only by opportunity created or numbers reached. It is measured by trust, consistency, shared purpose, and the people who continue showing up for one another. The best partnerships do more than build success. They build lasting friendships and meaningful legacies. So thank you guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow, and we'll do this all over again.
Thank you as well.